Now I welcome you all in English class of 12th standard. Today I am going to start the very first poem of your book Flamingo, My Mother at 66, composed by Kamala Das. Kamala Das was born in Malabar, Kerala, and she is recognized as one of India's foremost poets. Her works are known for their originality and versatility. Kamala Das has published many novels and short stories in English and Malayalam under the pen name Madhvi Kuti. She is a sensitive writer and she is famous for capturing complexities of human relationship. The poem My Mother at 66 is one of the finest examples of the human bonding, especially that of a mother and a daughter. This poem describes the pain and fear of the poet of losing her mother due to the harsh reality of life, which is death. This poem is a very touching poem, and in the particular poem, the poetess describes her feeling of love and attachment towards her aging mother. As you all know that aging is a natural process. Everyone has to get old day by day, and no one can stop that. Students, have you ever imagined or have you ever thought that what would happen when we will get separated from our parents, especially from our mother? No, because the idea seems horrible. We don't want to think, we don't want to imagine this kind of thought in our dream also. So, the poem My Mother at 66, as this poem name itself describing that 66 can be an age. So, in the particular poem, the poetess is feeling pain for the increasing age of her mother as she is approaching to death. Okay, now I am going to start the poem. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me. Beside is alongside. The poetess explained that once when she visited her parents' house in Cochin for 1 week holidays, now she has to return to her workplace and she was driving back to the airport. It was the day of Friday and her mother was sitting beside her as the poetess was driving herself and her mother was accompanying her. She was going with her up to the airport to say her goodbye. The same time the poetess looked at her mother. Those open-mouthed, her face ashen like that of a corpse and realized with pain. Students, dose is used for nap, siesta or a short sleep. Ashen is pale and corpse is a dead body. When the poetess saw her mother's face, she saw that her mother was sleeping and her mouth was opened. She explains that the color of her mother's face was like that of ash. Ash means that there was some smoky appearance on her face, or her face was looking pale or lifeless. Actually, she compares her mother's face like a corpse. Corpse is dead body. She felt that her mother is looking like a dead body. No doubt her mother was alive, but as there was no energy, as there was no life on her face, so her face was looking like a dead body, and this thought made the poet feel painful, or she realized with pain. She felt that soon she will get separated from her mother. Now the next para is that she was as old as she looked, but soon put that thought away and looked out at young trees sprinting and merry children spilling out of their homes. As the thought was painful that her mother is approaching to death and she will get separated from her mother as she was 66-year-old. No doubt she was 66-year-old and she was looking as she was in reality. The poetess was feeling a great pain and she wanted to divert her mind, so she put that thought away and she started looking out of the window of the car as she was feeling a great pain when she was having that thought. So she wanted to get rid of this sad thought by diverting her thoughts towards the trees outside. As you have seen that whenever we travel somewhere and where we are moving in the forward direction, the trees looked as they are moving in the backward direction. So the young trees, although stationary, seemed to be running very fast as though they were sprinting. And she also saw the children, they were running out of their house into the playground. All the children were very happy. Spelling is used for let out or to come out of their homes. As the time of evening, many children, they were coming out of their house and they were looking very happy. They were in the group as they were going to the outside area or they were going to the playground. Why the poetess has given the example of these things, these trees sprinting and merry children, as all these things were full of life and energy, contrary to her mother who sat next to her. But after the airport security check, standing a few yards away, I looked again at her, worn, pale as a late winter's moon, and felt that old familiar ache. For that particular time, the poetess put the thought away that she would get separated from her mother. But when after the airport security checkup, everything, all the checkups were done, she finished with the security checkup and stood a few yards away. She was standing at some distance from her mother. She again noticed her mother's aging face, which looked so dull, weak and pale. Looked at her worn. Worn is used dull or colorless or very dim or very weak, you can say. Again I saw my mother's face, which was looking very pale, colorless and dull or weak as a late winter's moon. In the line, the poetess is comparing her mother's face as a late winter's moon. Why it is so? Because the moon in the winter is not shiny, and even her mother's face had also lost her youth and shine. As you see that in the winter the moon is surrounded by the fog and it had a dim light or not any kind of brightness. In the same way, the poetess mother face was lifeless, dull and dim like the winter's moon. As her mother was getting older and weak, the poetess feels the fear of separation just as she used to feel in her childhood. As we have seen that if there is a kid or a small child and if he or she gets separated from her mother for a short time, he or she starts weeping or crying. They want their mother back. Now, but that separation is temporary for a short time. Now the poetess is feeling the fear of getting separated from her mother, that is permanent, and because of her death. Actually, she was feeling pain because she was thinking that whenever she will have a next visit, maybe that she won't be able to see her mother again. She was having a lot of feelings, she was having a lot of emotions in her mind, but all I said was, "See you soon, Amma." All I did was smile and smile and smile. Actually, she was feeling she could not bear the pain of separating from her mother, as her mother has grown old and is about to die. But she doesn't want to show her feelings, show her emotions to her mother, and she said, "See you soon, Amma." See you soon, Amma means we will meet you. I will meet you very soon. Mama or Amma is used for mother, and she says so because she doesn't want to lose her mother. She doesn't want to show her emotions, show her feelings to her mother, and that's why she bid goodbye to her mother with a great smile and smile and smile as she hid all her feelings. No doubt she was feeling a great pain in her heart. She wanted to hug her, she wanted to show her feelings, but she thought when she will move away from there and later on her mother will get disturbed. She doesn't want to disturb her mother. That's why she didn't express her feelings, her emotions to her mother, and she bid goodbye to her mother with a great smile and smile by saying that, "See you soon, Amma." It means we will meet very soon again. So student, thank you very much. This was the last of the poem, and